Alright. Coda, are you on the video with me? Okay, so here's what's going on. I'm planning to put this video on YouTube, so I'm going to talk with it. Try to. I've never checked out war stories on here before, and I have a dog in my face. I'm not sure if you can see him. Excuse me, Coda. Anyway, I played a few tiers on this, and I've been mostly spending time with the computer game, especially recently with all the holiday rewards and everything. I'm going to start this out, and I'm going to see how well I can do with a dog sticking his nose on my controller all the time. I don't have a crew in this tank or anything. Cody, you want to drive the tank? I haven't made a World of Tanks video from the computer in a long time, and I haven't been able to stream from that game either, so I'm going to try this. Now, I'm not very intricate in my terminology when it comes to the details of tanks and their specs. I don't remember everything very well. Like when you listen to guys like Mighty Jingles or Pointy Hair Jedi, they can carry on and talk about all those things. I don't have the ability to absorb that.
Built was destined for the U.S. Army.
Now let's listen to this.
Through the Persian corridor into the Soviet Union. From the steelworks of Detroit straight to the Eastern Front. And it wasn't just tanks that wound up in the Soviet Union. The Americans sent experienced combatants too. Colonel Peters had joined the Soviet advance into Romania. With the news,
I hope this mic is working.
Front had opened up in France. Both sides knew this was a critical turning point in the war.
Suppose I should read that out loud, huh? I can't read fast enough. They're gonna teach us how to drive a tank or blow one up. Clunk, clunk, what is that, here in the reload?
From his position on the hill, Peters and his Soviet crew were about to get their first taste of action as a joint force.
Whoosh, boom. If I seem a little out of breath, it's because I just got done moving a fish tank around up 2 flights of stairs. You can see I have these. This one was a 40-gallon, but the stand that it was cabinet was heavy. And I only got a little bit of time before I gotta go do some work. How do I get out of these rocks? See, now, I've always had trouble using the joystick on these tanks. It is very difficult for me. And I don't know if it's going to get easier if I keep playing. If the heavier tanks in the higher tiers will be easier to maneuver because they won't be whipping all over the place like the light tanks do. I almost rolled right off the cliff. I forget that if you press down on the joystick, your tank just keeps going. I have to ensure at least one ally survives. They're not doing anything, so what am I supposed to do? I'm doing what the thing says, looking around. This isn't going like the normal battles. See. Doesn't look like I can roll down this hill either. game itself is picking up my voice, so I hope that it's recording right. I am planning to put this on YouTube just because. I was doing a thing for a while where I put together some highlights of my own games from the computer, and that was fun. But all I really did was put background music already provided by YouTube onto there. And of course now YouTube has ruined everything by taking away the video editing software that was available. I didn't care how I got down, I was just gonna go down. It's still telling me how to move the turret around, and I really don't know why. I don't even know. Defend the area. It says defend the area, and I'm killing the wildlife. And the vegetation. Okay, now what? They're all facing that way. I really don't get what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing what that says to do on the screen. I've done it multiple times. And there it is, still up there. Even if I shoot a bale of hay. It didn't work. It just stood there. Fine, I'll just goof off. Can I shoot a tree down? Oh, that's not cool. You can do it on the PC game with Artie. Somebody may need to tell me. I'm just going to upload this video as is. Somebody may need to tell me what I'm doing here. Because I'm not running into any enemies. I'm not... The directions are still telling me to move the turret around. Maybe I can get that off the screen. Let's see. Assist. I want to turn off the HUD. Nothing here that says I can turn off of the directions, the tips that tell me what to do. This is pretty annoying, obviously. Because I don't understand what's happening. I don't have anybody in the chat that can tell me what's going on. I'm not even looking at the chat box anyway. I'm at the border apparently. Well, I'll figure something out pretty soon.
The Germans had launched a preemptive strike
Finally.
on the Russian armor.
I was on patrol, apparently. It didn't tell me that, though. I don't seem to have a shot. Move in on him here. I also don't like this reticle very much. I prefer the... Who did that damage? It wasn't me, was it? Did I shoot? No, that's a rock, not a bale of hay. I don't have the ability to change the reticle on here. the way you do in the game. They had to get me all the way over across that field before they could start this thing. It's not fair at all.
Looks like that one went straight through. Gun loaded. Here's one. That one drilled straight through. He's gone. Find us another target. Got an enemy here.
I wish that the PC game would get something like what Fortnite and Ghost Recon Wildlands does. They got a player versus environment mode. Someone suggested that that would make the PvP mode less popular. I said no, they should do the way they do it with those games. In Fortnite, the characters that you collect from whatever things, sometimes when you go to PvP mode, they are not available in PvP mode. I think that's different now than what it was the last time I looked at it. However, in Ghost Recon Wildlands, when you go to player versus player, you don't use the same character that you use when you play against the AI. World of Tanks could do the same thing with the computer game. They could make a completely different game setup for you. Maybe allow you to use one or two of or maybe your premium tanks or something. Otherwise, you got to work your way up the ladder. But we all know that suggesting things to wargaming really doesn't get very far. Me personally, I would like that. I know a lot of people who would like that. And so if you wanted to play your higher tier tanks, I have 2 tanks in tier 10 now. One of them always gets losses no matter how hard I try. T110E5 in the American line. I have the IS-7. And I love that tank. One of the things that makes me kind of annoyed about it was the T10 as I was grinding it. I held a 50% and higher win rate in that tank until I reached about 110, 115 battles, and then it dropped in one day. I think because I played on a Saturday. And it was right after I got my first 4K damage. Oh, I forgot why I was climbing the hill. Gotta get over there. I had my first 4K damage in that tank. And after that, it just plummeted. A lot of my tanks before had done the same thing. I reached 100 plus battles with them with a 50% win rate, and then they all just started dropping off. I only have a very few number of tanks now that have reached a higher number of battles with and held a 50% or higher win rate. It's pretty horrible because I'm getting better at the game, but it doesn't do any. I'm not a team carrier. That's just not something I can do very often. So it doesn't look good on my stats, you know. What am I doing? They're bringing me back to almost where I started. Now what? I get to play sniper? Okay.
Penetration.
My favorite thing to do.
They're knocked down.
Is that my only kill?
We pierced their armor.
I should be wearing glasses. But I can pretty much see everything.
Looks like that one went right through. Enemy armor is destroyed. We pierced their armor.
This isn't very challenging, but I guess it's kind of a tutorial.
He's gone. Find us another target.
Most tutorials aren't that challenging. You know, there is one game where I cannot beat the tutorial. When you finally get to the first battle,
Chalk up another one.
that game is Smite. I tried it 2 or 3 times. I could not get.
Peters knew if he didn't keep
couldn't
his
get through it.
Sherman moving, he'd end up a burning wreck.
Oh, I'm supposed to get the Sherman moving now. What did that tank just fire at?
One of our vehicles destroyed.
Is that artillery or something getting us? I haven't had the chance to play artillery on here yet either. TD, I think.
We pierced their armor.
2-shotter.
They're knocked out.
So anyway, I brought up the game Smite, and all this happened.
Penetration. Enemy scrapped. Got an enemy here. Enemy's got us in their
Showed up to protect your TDs and already a little late.
shotgun's gone. That one drilled straight through. One of our tracks is damaged. Enemy armor is destroyed. Reloading.
Oh, can I go over here and get him? I just discovered an old Nintendo 64 game called Battle Tanks. I'd never heard of it before. Kinda want to try that game out. I was hoping I could just hit him on the fly. Ran him.
The track is damaged. Ready. Punched a hole in their armor.
Tell you one thing, these Shermans can't take this much in the computer game.
With the German tanks routed, Peters looked at his Sherman crew with pride. They had passed their first test admirably.
Now that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Okay, I'm going to... I don't have premium on here, but I have an achievement. Everyone in this household calls those things achievements. The power of cheese. Wait a minute, I'm trying to look at my stuff. Unlock chapter 2. Got some boosts. Let's see, without premium, I didn't do too bad. That's not too bad for base. I mean, I would know for this mode what's good and what's bad, but seems alright to me. I destroyed 10 of them myself. Detected 7 of them myself. I never do that much damage on the PC game on a regular basis. I get it once in a while, but my win rate is fairly low because I play a lot of smaller tanks. I play a lot of light tanks. Alright, so that's going to be it. I'm going to cut it off here. And upload this now, and there you have it. Thank you very much.